What up, Dokkanners? We are at a crossroads, global fans, because with the 7-year anniversary having released on JP, global Dokkan is left coping and wondering, is it worth summoning on any banner until the 7-year anniversary? And while that's a valid question, I do want to explore both sides of this argument. So we're going to be talking about in today's video is basically going to be, should you save or should you summon? Should you save and skip every single banner leading up until the 7-year, or should you actually summon and indulge yourself a little bit on some of these other Dokkan Festival banners? So we're going to talk about that, but just keep in mind, folks, that this is an opinion-based video, a discussion, so if you guys agree or disagree with anything that I say, or ultimately my personal opinion that I will mention at the end, feel free to let me know in the comments. Just remember, let's be civil, this is all just a discussion, and we're allowed to have differing opinions. So let's talk about it. The 7-year anniversary, I don't really need to go into detail about them. You should know at this point. They are busted, they're broken, they are better than any other unit ever created, and they are must-haves. They are more must-have than any other units you can imagine because they are that powerful. They have the most powerful leader skills in the game. They have the most powerful mechanics in the game. Dodging, critical hit ratio, tanking, everything that you can think of, these units have, and more. They have all the bells and whistles, active skills galore, animations galore. There's so much happening here that even the Dokkan Wiki can't even load the image properly. Like, that's how crazy these units are. 2 of them. And also, let me just point out, because I do want to point this out, 200% leader skill is now a thing in this game. So you want to be a part of this new power creep. No matter what, in the end, you should make sure that you have enough to summon for these units. But is that enough to warrant not summoning on any other banner leading up to the 7-year anniversary? Because, folks, that encompasses a span of several months. We have to wait until July to summon for the 7-year anniversary, which means February, March, April, May, June. That's 5 months of not summoning at all in order to save for the 7-year anniversary. Now, if that's something that you can do, then more power to you. But I feel like it's also worth mentioning some of the benefits and pitfalls of adopting this mentality. So let's talk about that. The number one thing, the pro, obviously, more stones saved. The more you skip, the less temptation that there is. It's probably better for your sanity overall, and you will be saving more dragon stones, which means you are going to have a whole lot more opportunities to summon for this unit, and not only this unit, but last year's marquee unit, the number 1 unit of last year, which was the full power Frieza, the number 2 unit, which was the Ultra Instinct Goku, and then you've got a whole bunch of other all-stars from years past who are extremely good still, and some of whom might even get easy A's relatively quickly. The 3-year LRs are those examples. So with more stones, you have more opportunities to summon for this guy and whoever else that you could come up with in your summons. Obviously, that is the biggest benefit to saving. We're going to have 5 months of saving up, which means more campaigns, more free stones. As you saw in an earlier video, we're going to be getting around 200 stones for the Tech Androids Dokkan Festival celebration. So average that out to maybe 5. If we want to just take a completely rough estimate, let's just say on average 180 stones you're going to be given per celebration. Multiply that by 5, because not only do we have the Trunks, the androids, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, these 2 are 1 celebration, so that's going to be 1. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3. And then let's not forget Saiyan Day, that's 4. Golden Week, that's 5. So let's just say you get 180 Dragon Stones. Multiply that by 5. That's going to give you 900 free-to-play stones. That is a very rough estimate. Don't take my word on that. But let's just say you save all of that. That's 900 stones that you can now spend on the 7-year anniversary LRs. Not just 1 banner, by the way. There's 2. There's 2 of them. So you're going to need all the stones that you can get to summon on both banners and get the most that you possibly can out of these 2 banners. So the more you save, the better off you'll be. Number 2, more bang for your buck. I think people often overlook this because one of the plights of the whale, the first world problems, if you will, is that the more you summon, the more you'll get shafted. Now, let me explain what that means. When you are summoning a ton on every single banner, when they introduce new banners, some of the older highlight all-star units from previous banners do come back. And if you're a whale who summons on every single banner, then you are only pining for the headliner unit, and you are not worrying about the features. Like for me, for example, actually this is a bad example for here. Let's take a look at the 7-year anniversary. 7-year anniversary, let's take a look at this. Let's just say Global got the 7-year anniversary tomorrow. That would be awesome. But I would be in a little bit more of a precarious situation because of the fact that I have absolutely zero gain coming my way from any of the other featured SSRs. Every single one of these units are rainbowed. Why? Because I play the game a lot, I summon a lot, and I spend a lot. So the only units that I actually have to gain from this would be the headliner units. The main unit and the sideline one. These two are the only ones that matter for me. If you only summon for the anniversaries, the step-ups, and the worldwide download celebration banners, then you have a whole lot more to gain, because even if you summon a lot on those banners, you might potentially miss 1 or 2 units here and there, or depending on the featured list that you get, it's probably going to be vastly different from the other banners that you summon on. So when you get another full power Frieza, you might actually have some value in that because you needed that extra copy, or you needed an extra copy of the Bootanks or whoever. So if you have the discipline to spread out your summons to these 3 banners, then you are probably going to never really be in a position where you're getting a whole lot of overlap. On the step-ups, you are getting 3 rounds of value, guaranteed SSRs, guaranteed LRs, but that may not encompass every single unit that you might have possibly been able to pull that year. Maybe some of those units come back during the worldwide download celebrations and you can pull them there, or perhaps they show up during the anniversary. So more bang for your buck. It definitely validates your decision to save. Now let's talk about the con. The one, I think, major downfall with saving is the fact that you just don't have as much variety in the game. Now, that's not to say that these units are bad. It's more like, if you're only summoning 3 times a year, then think about how much time you're going to be spending with those units, assuming you play this game every single day. That's a lot of time, a lot of events, and a lot of different things that you're going to be doing on a daily basis with the same units. At some point, these units will age, not only in terms of their overall power, but in terms of also the visual appeal, or just the appeal in general of using them. So if you're using the same few teams on a daily basis, it could potentially lead to a more monotonous experience, maybe less variety on events like Extreme Z Battles, where you need particular categories to clear those events, or maybe Super Battle Road, maybe you're lacking a couple categories here and there to clear the Super Battle Road stages. So with fewer summons, and with fewer possible leaders and fewer team units, then that could potentially lead to a more monotonous experience. Of course, this is not something that is a problem that plagues Dokkanners. I'm just throwing that out there for argument's sake. So that is honestly the only real downfall to not summoning on every single banner, or at the very least indulging a little bit. The middle ground that I always recommend to people, whenever people ask me on my streams, hey Toon, should I summon on this banner, should I summon on that banner? Initially, I was very hesitant to even answer, but over time I've learned to actually say, you know what, do 1 summon or 2 summons. Because whether or not you want the unit, your natural instinct is to be curious and you want to know what could have been. At the very least, if you give 1 summon or 2, or maybe just the discounts that those campaigns offer, you could at least test the waters and see if you can come away with some of the new units. That way, you could still maybe run away with a W with 1 multi or 2, as opposed to not even trying at all and wondering what could have been had I summoned in the first place. So whenever people ask me, I always tell them, you know what, give it a shot. Just give it 1 try. Because if you tell them to not summon, some of them might take that to heart and find it even more difficult to resist. The temptation might be too much. So if you just actually indulge once or twice, that could be enough to satisfy your summoning itch for some time and then wait for the next campaign. We have, as I mentioned, not Super Vegeta, the androids coming up. We've got the Trunks down the road. We've got the New Year, the JP New Year, Kid Buu, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. These 2 units are insanely good, by the way. These are some of the best units ever made in Dokkan, and they are now being sidelined for the 7-year anniversary. It would be nice to have those units to run on the same team as the 7-year anniversary units, wouldn't they? Would be pretty cool. So I think that it is worth, at the very least, summoning on discounts. So if you have to take anything away from this video, this is my position. Should you save for the 7-year anniversary? Absolutely. Does that mean you completely disregard every single other banner? No. I think you should summon on the discounts. Give yourself 1 round, or perhaps 1 or 2 actual summons. If the campaign gives you a step up, a mini step up like 35 stones, 40 stones, 45, do the step ups, do the discounted multis, because you're still getting some value for less stones spent. But I still think it's important that you do summon on some of these banners, because you could come away with some gems that are insanely powerful. This is one of the best TURs in the game right now, and Global is about to understand why when we get these androids later on tonight. This unit temporarily raises attack and defense, can seal, and also has an insanely high base stat line, then can tank, or nuke, 35% attack and defense per tech key sphere obtained, which, by the way, it can transform tech key spheres. 18 attack, 17 defense for non-tech key spheres. Even more stats if you pick up 7 or 8 key spheres. You're able to pretty much take care of your own on this unit with the key +1 per rainbow key sphere, guaranteed additional super attack, nullifies key blasts when you're above 35% health, and a built-in Ghost Usher that works on turn 1. This is a very powerful unit that is not only going to be beneficial for androids, but for extreme tech. It is not every day, folks, that we come across a really good extreme tech unit, as this is still kind of the meme that runs in the Dokkan circles. When are we going to get another solid extreme tech unit? Folks, this is it. This is that unit. You have a guaranteed Ghost Usher frame 1, turn 1 if you open with this unit. You can do a whole bunch of stuff with this guy, as well as the banner unit that comes in the android's banner. This unit is so good, it should be a Dokkan Fest. This unit not only nullifies key blasts, but it can also heal 40% of the damage that you would have taken and convert it into health. Supports androids by 40%. Ridiculous numbers, 200% attack, 190% defense. The power creep is a thing, people, and it is moving upwards. These units are a part of that. So it is not the worst thing in the world to try a little bit on these banners to see if you could possibly come away with them. Now, if you're somebody who struggles with the whole gacha nature of these banners, then that's a different story. You probably want to relegate yourself to only maybe 2 or 3 summons a year, because that would also put you in a better mental state of mind, not knowing that, you know, all of these different banners are kind of rolling by and you could be summoning on them. But if you're somebody who's able to put a firm hold on your budget, on your spending, I think it is worth actually trying on these banners to see if you can get something. And they know, folks, they know that we want to summon on the 7-year. They know that we want to summon on the new fresh units that JP's getting. So to incentivize people to actually try these banners, they are giving us some deals. You could call that predatory, you could call that marketing 101. However you look at it, it's still going to be helping you in terms of summoning and seeing if you could run away with a slight W before you ultimately abandon the banner altogether. This Android banner is going to be dropping on Global tonight. We're going to be getting the banner in about, I'd say, 12 plus hours, depending on when you're watching this. We're going to be getting it at 10:30 p.m. tonight, January 31st in Los Angeles. What time does that mean for you? Well, if you live in Australia, it will be dropping at 5:30 p.m. February 1st, 2022. If you live in the Philippines, it will be 2:30 p.m. February 1st, 2022. If you live in Japan and you are somehow playing the global version, don't tell anybody, but you will be summoning at 3:30 p.m. on February 1st. If you live in Spain, shout out to my folks in Spain, you will be summoning at 7:30 a.m. February 1st, 2022. How about Deutschland? Auf Deutsch. You'll also be summoning. Oh man, same time zone? Okay. 7:30 a.m. for those of you in Germany. If you live in India, you'll be summoning at high noon on February 1st, 2022. If you live next to my boy Masningen, then you'll be summoning at 6:30 a.m. in London, in the UK. Okay? What's wrong with me? If you are from Boston, on the East Coast of the United States, you will be summoning at 1:30 a.m. on February 1st. If you live next to my boy Tiger from Tiger Uppercut Media, you will also be summoning at 1:30 a.m. Dang it. I'm trying not to pick the same time zones, and I always do that. All right, how about in Mexico? If you live... What the heck? There's a Mexico, Philippines? How did I never notice that? Mexico, Philippines? Maricourt, France? Interesting. Anyway, if you live in Mexico, you will be summoning at 12:30 a.m. February 1st, 2022. If you live in Alaska, shout out to my boy King, you will be summoning at 9:30 p.m. January 31st, 2022. So hopefully I covered your time zone. If I missed it, apologies. I do not know every single time zone that exists, and I also forget quite a bit, so forgive me. That is pretty much it. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding of what's at stake. Long story short, there's a trade-off here. If you do sacrifice the other banners, you gain it in the 7-year anniversary, but at the same time, can you enjoy the game at the cost of not summoning? If you can, you should save. These units are very good, and if you have the ability and the discipline and the mental fortitude to summon only on the 7-year anniversary and skip everything else, then I think you should do it. But if you want to know what could have been, it's okay to indulge and summon a little bit on these other banners. Or if you don't want to do that, watch my streams. let me be the one to summon for you. You can experience the joy and the pitfalls of summoning through me. See what I did there? Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree with anything that I have to say regarding this whole debate. Do you guys side with those who want to summon on every single banner just a little bit? Or do you side with those who decide to ultimately skip everything in service of the new shiny unit? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more stuff. Do it! Why did the music stop? Hang on, let me rewind this. I'm going to do that outro again. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. And if you... I forgot what I was saying. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. I love you. And always remember to Dokkan responsibly.